Hi everyone, this is Dan, and this is a pretty sad day because I'm going to be talking about this man right here who passed away yesterday. I didn't do a video immediately because I already had a video scheduled, and honestly I kind of had to take it in a little bit. So those of you who kind of have been following my channel from the very beginning know I am a big fan of Berserk, the manga. This is the deluxe edition, by the way, volume 1 deluxe edition. So it's basically a 3-in-1 oversized printed format with hardcover and a little tassel right here, really nice. So some of you might wonder, how much do you like Berserk? Well, here's volume 2, and that's over here. Here is, let's see, volume 3. Here is volume 4. Here is volume 5. Here is volume 6. And volume 7 right over here with number 8 on the way. So I'm a big fan of Berserk. In my opinion, one of the best mangas ever drawn and written. But unfortunately, we're not going to get an ending to that because Miura sensei has passed away. So my understanding is he passed away from, it seems like almost like a heart attack, essentially. And, there's a lot of speculation going around. It was like overwork or something like that. But for those of us who've kind of followed Berserk for a long time, Miura takes a lot of breaks. And so Berserk has infamously, I think there's among the fan base, Berserk infamously was in this one arc where all of the main characters and heroes were stuck on a boat for it felt like almost a decade, while other things were going on and other aspects of the story were going on. And what I will say this about Miura is I'm not sure if he ever hired assistants, which is a very typical practice for commercially successful mangas. They'll have one person tied to the manga, but the mangaka or creator will hire a lot of assistants, backgrounders, shaders, inkers, etc., editors, all kinds of people to help support them in the creation of the manga. They usually don't go credited, unlike in American comic books, but it helps them meet deadlines. Berserk as a series has for many, many years hasn't been on a consistent deadline. It was published through the Young Animal, but it was never really consistently published, and it was very on and off every other month or so. And I think it was becoming very apparent over the last 4 or 5 years that Miura, was running out of gas and was having a hard time completing chapters on time and keeping up with stuff. And, also the art style was kind of changing. It kind of, was indicative of Miura using more assistants and other stuff. And at the time, I kind of speculated whether he had health problems while I was following Berserk. But it became very obvious, over the last couple of years that, either A, he was losing interest, or B, something was going on. And my guess is probably health problems was occurring right here. So again, I don't know all the information, I'm kind of speculating, but I've been following it in both legally in purchasing these collected volumes and, sailing the high seas to get the latest chapter because they don't really get published immediately in America. But it's a really sad day for fans of this manga. You're kind of, stuck in limbo in a way. I mean, for me, being a comic book fan, or American comic book fan, I guess I can approach it in a way of it's kind of like Chris Claremont's X-Men run, right? It never really will ever end or be finished. And since it's a corporate-owned entity, the X-Men, right? No matter what, you're never really going to get an ending to the X-Men. Whereas, at least in manga, you technically can get an ending to a manga. So in many ways, I will just enjoy Miura's works, as he created them. They may have a successor or someone else take over this series, but for me personally, I don't feel like it's going to be the same. It's going to be very much like people who took over the X-Men after Chris Claremont, it's really, it'll be Berserk, but it will never really be the Berserk, right? So, for me, it's extremely sad and really tragic, in a way. Maybe indicative of the manga industry as a whole in Japan. But, I'll look back on this as, being extremely grateful for the stories and the entertainment that I got from this guy. By the way, I will say this: Berserk is a very, very, very adult story, an adult series. So you could argue in some ways much darker and much more depraved than even The Boys. But unlike The Boys, Berserk actually has a general theme and message, and isn't, Garth Ennis being, a total freaking prick. Berserk it has a soul to it underneath the darkness and the violence and the depravity, and that's what really made it a profound manga series for me. Looking back on it right here, and I'll kind of go through this. Very, very dark. His old this is the early version, right? I don't have his newer stuff here yet. They haven't printed it yet, but I don't know what to say. I'm almost like out of words right here. This series and this creator, it meant a lot for me, because in many ways I kind of grew up on Berserk, right? It was the first adult comic book manga series that I ever read. And while I'm not like one of those guys that looks down on all the other stuff, I consider myself a Berserk fan, but I enjoy a whole gamut of things, as you can see with the channel. It's very bittersweet to talk about it in a way. And man, I don't know what to say, man. Anyhow, this is turning into almost like a cope video at this point. I don't know what to say. Thank you very much, Kentaro Miura. Wherever you are, I hope you're at peace. And thank you for all the entertainment. I truly, truly do appreciate it. Rest in peace, my friend. Anyhow, talk to you guys later.